social instinct, hierarchies, networks, public persona, social equity, pop culture, lovers, haters, not lovers in terms of lovers, but like, my haters, my lovers, my fans, my audience, social movements, critiques, and sure, like belonging, imagey. It is aware of like what things mean, what things like I think the social doms, it's like SP is like aesthetics in the realm of objects and like, luxury fabrics and kind of synergizing elements, like a tapestry, like um tangible things. And I think social is doing that with social. So it's like they're creating an aesthetic of social. What does this person mean about me? What does this connection mean about me? What does this person say? Like it's kind of like you like the what is that saying? It's like you're the sum total of the 10 people you hang around with or something. It's like that kind of mentality, I think, where it's like what does this connection say about me? How does this make me look? How does me saying that I know this person make me look? Like it is kind of that shit. Like it's not as bad for certain types. Like nines are not as bad with that kind of stuff, for example, and sixes will sixes sort of like meekly name drop, but and obviously like other types like threes or sevens or eights or whatever might just like gratuitously name drop. Socials are trying to secure the bag of clout, networks, groups, ideology, popularity, public persona with an impressive, significant, or at least vaguely aspirationally acceptable image, unless they're like a four or something. But then there's still going to be like an element of it where they're like elevating themselves or separating themselves from social. So they're still engaged in social, even if they're like, I'm separate. I'm separate from them. I think very different. Like I'm very different. So it's like there's still the social awareness. Um, and like where they are, again, if even if they won't say it out loud, it's like there's an awareness of the role in the social fabric that they exist or desire to exist in. They're focused on relationships, who's doing what, who knows who's doing who on some level. I mean, that can also be in the sexual instinct realm, but I feel like it's social. Probably SP last notice that stuff more, maybe. What's happening, pop culture, some kind of social fear, like it's kind of like the blogging. I feel like it's a kind of a blogger, gossip blogger, even YouTuber sort of energy. Like, not saying all YouTubers are social because I know they're not, but it's like there's a sort of like, see me just a little bit. I'm important a little bit. I have something to add. I have something to say. Uh, so yeah, and like they're involved in some kind of social sphere, and the specificity and breadth of that relates more to type and their interests. So like it's kind of more obvious for certain types than others, and like some social sixes can get like totally unhinged with like tribal stuff. Not all, obviously, but they like often can get very where it's like, oh, they're like in a group, they're in that club. Whereas like I think social nines are like to be in a few groups, and like social sevens I think can be in like a lot of groups, and it's more just like picking the fun groups or like the fun people to hang out with, and like having many friends for different interests that serve to like provide a partner in crime for like the various things they want to do. um, Socials can be shallow social climbers or inspirational leaders with some miserable haters peppered in for variety, like social critics, for example, that distinguish and separate themselves from the herd. So, like, I think a lot of social self-preses are probably like, or a lot of film critics, a lot of like literary critics, a lot of just critics in general, are probably social self-pres because it just feels like that's the instinct that would do it, like that would get off on that. Maybe some social sexuals. And the like social bag is like semi-permanent, so it's not as like stable. Yeah, so the self-pres bag is sort of more static and like building on top of itself and tangible. And I think like the social like bag, if you will, is semi-permanent. It's like less stable because it involves people and you can't really control people as much as you can control the self-pres realm. So it's less stable. It's more dramatic, especially with sexual second. And it's more probably stable and consistent with self-pres second. So depending on the person and the people that they surround themselves with. So like social sexuals are probably more like disposable friendships, like shuffled through at leisure And I think social self-pres is more like the loyal girl gang combo and being reductive. And the frequency of social is kind of like more snooty and like above you and like I'm in the know and like I have this friend and like I got an invite to this thing. And like even if they're not like I find like social self-preses are kind of snobby even when they're not snobby. Like there's still an element of like it's above self-pres realm. It's like they're hovering above. They've got wings and they're just like and they have like more like psychic energy focused on the social realm, like maybe spotting social agendas and sort of like and also having the psychic ability of like knowing who to connect with who would be a good match. Oh, this person would probably be a good to meet this person. Like so that like like you know what I mean? It has like different manifestations. Um Sometimes I paint stuff like a little bit overly negatively with what people are up to, but there's always like the positive inverse of that same thing that I'm saying. So